My guest is Michael Clark, and Michael is Parks and Rec Director for the City of Roanoke. Michael, we know that recently there was an announcement made we're going to do some investments in our city park system. So talk about that. I think it's $2.3 million. That's a lot of money. Where does that money come from?
Yes, ma'am. It is a lot of money. As a matter of fact, it's the single largest and most diverse investment in our park infrastructure in at least the last 20 years. So the money is coming from a handful of different sources. It's coming from a group of unspent capital funds that we've had over the last couple years, as well as about $1.5 million from surplus in last fiscal year.
And so these projects, will there be a focus? What kind of focus will you start out with on what kind of projects we're going to do?
So the focus of this project is deferred maintenance.
Okay.
And what that means is we're looking at park amenities that haven't been addressed or repaired or renovated in some time. So we're not necessarily building new amenities or adding to the park system, but rather we're taking, say, a tennis court or a basketball court, and we're fixing the cracks in the court, or perhaps redeveloping it into something completely different. So it may not be a tennis court when it's all said and done. It could be a futsal court or a pickleball court or anything like that. So it really is about putting in the necessary repairs to our park system.
So give us an example, a couple examples of some of the initial projects you think we're going to be doing with this.
Sure. So we have a handful of playgrounds that we're going to be addressing. We have at least 5 playgrounds that are over 20 years old that need to be replaced. A playground at West End Park, a playground at Raleigh Court Park, another one at Garden City Park. We're also doing some improvements to our hard court surfaces, as I mentioned before, things like basketball courts and tennis courts. But we're also doing some smaller things like replacing bleachers at athletic fields or scoreboards or athletic field fencing. So it really runs the gamut of traditional park amenities that you see in our park system.
So like you said, this is a really big investment. Why is it happening now? Help us understand that.
Well, through the course of the pandemic, our parks saw unprecedented use, and folks have really shown how much they appreciate the services that we provide, and we want to make sure that we're providing the best possible amenities that we can. So the timing was right with some available funding from last fiscal year, as well as some capital funding that we had to start implementing part of our master plan that we created back in 2019. So as a part of that process, we went through and we assessed every park in the system and developed a deferred maintenance list. So we're going back to that document to address these needs, and the timing is right, and we're hopeful that the folks will like what we're able to do with these park amenities.
What do you think is the benefit? How does it add to the quality of life for people who live here to have these improvements made?
Sure. We have a mission to build a welcoming community through play, and our vision is to be the reason people choose Roanoke. And you can't do that with dilapidated and outdated amenities. So if we're going to work towards achieving that mission and vision, we have to reinvest in our infrastructure, and this gets us to where we want to be, and that ultimately makes Roanoke more livable. Anything we didn't cover that you'd like to mention? The only thing I'd ask is that folks be patient with us. We are working with outside contractors on many of these projects, and so we do have to get those scheduled. We're looking to finish everything by the end of the fiscal year. So between now and the end of June of 2022, we hope to have everything done. And we're going to address as much as we can. It doesn't completely tackle our deferred maintenance list. It doesn't address every need in the park system, but it does put a sizable dent in it. And so we ask folks to be patient with us as we work through it. If someone watching wanted to know how to get more information or maybe see a list of the projects, can they get that information somewhere? Yes, ma'am. They can visit playroanoke.com and scroll about halfway down the page, and there's a section there for park projects. It's very exciting, and we hope it goes very well. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.